Hello. Today we'll be talking about Hamlet. Not Hamlet himself, not his deck, not everything, but many people may ask this question. How to survive longer as him? How to survive longer as Hamlet? As we all know, his ability is overall very challenging. You have to put a lot of thoughts to it, a lot of decision making. How to play this guy, how to deal with the opponent, how am I surviving? Well, today I will show you all things that you can do to play this guy and don't worry about your health that much as you probably used to be. Your ability is named the Question, which means at the beginning of the turn you are able to switch between two modes. First mode is your +2 mode, which deals additional damage. +2 is very common in Unmatched, and as we all know, it's enough to deal massive amount of injuries to the opponent. However, to get to this point you have to injure yourself first, or your sidekicks first, which means you will be taking 2 damage. And what does it mean is you are basically on the timer. Eventually this timer will run out, and the timer is your health, unfortunately. The second of your forms is the not to be form, to be form. And in to be form you are drawing additional card whenever you're maneuvering, which means you are also on the timer. This time you will be getting into fatigue quicker. We don't like this. So we are also on the timer in this case. And as it says here, this will kill you. Eventually it will kill you. You have to understand this. As Hamlet, you are there to finish the opponent as quick as possible in this duel. There is no way to mind games or anything. You have to go in and just kill him. And if you want to duel in the proper way, with manners and with style and proper technique, you have to know how to mitigate those effects. Let me show you. We'll start with the first thing that can mitigate your damage. This card is basically your lifesteal. Lifesteal is always a mechanic that you deal damage to the opponent, you are healing the amount. This is similar to that. Because if you play the thing, you will discard the opponent's card. However, if you win the combat, you get to heal the amount of boost of discarded card. If you play this with +2, with not to be turn, you are almost guaranteed to win the combat, which means you will be healing. Against characters who have high boost values, you can heal even for 3 and 4, which means you get additional +2 turns. And that's the thing you need. You need additional +2 turns to even get the opponent and kill him. This card is awesome. It's one of your best lifesaver in the game. I recommend you to keep it for offense, plus for your +2 turns. And just stick to other defenses to keep you alive, because this card will keep you alive with his healing effect. Next one is the Rest is Silent. This card allows you to be close to the opponent almost all the time, because he will be scared of hitting you. This stops everything. This stops his whole turn. If opponent will be greedy and he wants to rush you, only rush you, then you can play it and just silent him and do your thing next turn. This is very good. You are trading some damage for this effect, but the effect is well hell worth it. As character who is hitting very much, but doesn't really have a good defensive style, like Hamlet. Hamlet is good at offense, at disarming the opponent and hitting him with his saber, or with not the saber, with his rapier. However, he is not good at controlling himself on defense. He doesn't have the stance, so you have to stop the opponent with something like the rest is silence. So it stops everything, and that's enough to keep you alive. Next one is Ghost. Ghost gives you 4 health if you count 2 copies, which means you have 2 extra plus 2 not to be turns. This is enough. You can use the Ghost in other way, which is place Hamlet in any space in his zone and gain an action. However, if you are talking about surviving, Ghost basically will just possess you and heal your wounds. And that's what we are looking for if you want to survive as Hamlet as long and just deal with his ability. Next one is not that like crazy or anything. It's nothing incredible. This to sleep or a chance to dream. If we are not looking for the first effect, we are looking for the second effect of this card, which is if you lost the combat, Hamlet recovers 1 health. If you will lose the combat with him, you will get like +1 additional not to be turn, which is enough. Also, 3 additional health with this card is very good. You will survive like 3 more damage, and that's awesome. You can also play it with your sidekicks, which means your opponent will be expecting them to hit you with something like this or maybe something else. However, the best way is to play it with your thinking turn, with your to-be turn, because +2 additional cards turn will reduce your damage, which means you are more likely to lose the combat, and opponent will have to try to lose the lose the combat against this. He will need to try. So on to be turn, it's almost guaranteed to heal you at 1+1, and that's enough. Next one, we got your scheme, that basically replacing your whole hand. This is great, because sometimes you'll be sitting with all of those bad options at hand. Nothing great, nothing that works at this proper situation, your current situation. This card for free gives you free reroll of all of your cards. This is great. You can also mitigate your fatigue game with this one. It's easier to find your survival cards, like all of those that we mentioned previously. This is great. You can also play it just right away if you are close to the opponent with your +2 damage turn, because you can get close to them with, like, I don't know, 5 cards. Now you want to strike them, but you don't have this card that you need. You can play it, put the cards on the bottom, and you have high chance of drawing the card you need. This card is very good when it comes to surviving with Hamlet, because it will find your survival options. And the last one is Maddening Insight. Nothing to say about this. This is like your best block in the deck. It will block a ton of damage if you are on after your +2 card draw turns, because you will draw 4 cards while maneuvering 2 times. It's just overall a good block, and you need a good blocks in deck that doesn't really have a lot of good blocks. So if you are using your ability which injuring with self-damaging yourself, this block will just make sure you will not take damage from the opponent, which is very crucial. Hamlet is getting angry, so he's not feeling pain, I guess. That's, I think, is the story of this card. And the last tip you need. As Hamlet, you are always on the timer. You need to go and kill the opponent as quick as possible. There is like no time to spare. You're just going in with your +2 boosting movement and then hitting them as quick as possible with your +2 while they are still vulnerable. If they will not be vulnerable in like mid game or late game, you will not survive to that long. You will just bleed out, man. You will just bleed out from the wounds they dealt to you and from the wounds you dealt to yourself. So you have to go in and kill them. That's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this quick video was entertaining for you. I tried to make it more thematic and all, because Hamlet is overall very thematic. So if you want to survive as Hamlet, you can find those cards and do what I just explained to you. You have to find a balance between those two playstyles. But as Hamlet, you have to be crazy. You have to be out of control. And while playing his deck, you are feeling like you are out of control. But what can I say? You can fight away by playing this lack of control in the deck. You can manage it. And with this, I'll end this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.